Imagine living your life normally for 9 straight years. You work, build a career, make friends, and go on vacations. Then your 10th year arrives. Your internal biological clock triggers a deep, inescapable hormonal shift. Your body shuts down, forcing you into a deep, coma-like stasis sleep that lasts for 365 full days. You cannot be woken up by alarm clocks, cold water, or loud noises. Your metabolism drops by 90%, your breathing slows to once per minute, and you hibernate for an entire year. Welcome to a world where human biology enforces a 1-year coma sleep every decade. At first, this sounds like the ultimate biological vacation. Imagine getting a full 12-month break from daily stress, work, and adult responsibilities. Your body would have a full year to repair cellular damage, heal chronic injuries, and clean your brain. You would wake up feeling younger, healthier, and mentally reset. If everyone fell asleep at the exact same time, the entire planet would collapse into utter chaos. Planes would fall from the sky, power grids would explode, and nuclear reactors would melt down. So to keep human civilization running, humanity would be divided into 10 sleep cohorts. Your cohort is determined by the year you were born. At any given moment, exactly 10% of the world's population is in a 1-year coma sleep. While 10% sleep, the other 90% keep society moving. Before your sleep year begins, you have to prepare for the long pause. You cannot just lie down on your couch at home. If you sleep on a regular bed for 365 days without moving, your muscles would atrophy and you would suffer severe pressure sores. You would be completely helpless against house fires, floods, or hungry animals. So humanity builds massive, ultra-secure hibernation vaults. Millions of high-tech stasis pods line the walls of these subterranean vaults. These pods supply intravenous nutrients, continuously massage your muscles with electrical pulses, and monitor your vitals. You pay a monthly stasis tax during your 9 awake years to fund your 1-year pod stay. This creates a massive specialized industry, the stasis guard economy. The 90% who are awake are hired to guard, maintain, and monitor the pods of the 10% who are asleep. Guardians sign strict contracts to protect the sleeping population from harm. When your sleep year ends and you wake up, you switch places with the next cohort. The darkest sociological impact happens in personal relationships. Imagine marrying someone who belongs to a different sleep cohort. Your cohort sleeps in 2030, but your spouse's cohort sleeps in 2035. You would spend 2 full years apart every single decade. Because of this, society would heavily encourage people to only marry within their own sleep cohort. Dating apps would filter matches by your birth year and space a schedule. If you date outside your cohort, your relationship would be constantly interrupted by 1-year time gaps. Waking up after 365 days causes severe psychological time jump shock. To you, it feels like you just closed your eyes 5 minutes ago, but the world outside has moved forward by a whole year. New technologies were invented, political elections happened, and fashion trends changed completely. Your favorite TV show released a whole new season that everyone already finished watching. Your friends who were awake during your sleep year have 1 year of new memories, jokes, and experiences that you missed entirely. You feel like a ghost stepping into a world that learned to function without you. The criminal underworld in this world takes a terrifying turn: pod raiding. Rogue criminals try to breach the hibernation vaults to rob sleeping citizens. Since a sleeping person cannot defend themselves, steal their money, or report a crime, pod security becomes the most heavily funded law enforcement branch on Earth. Stealing from or tampering with a stasis pod is punished with the harshest legal sentences in history. However, there is a major biological upside: anti-aging. During your 1-year stasis, metabolic wear and tear stops. Your body only ages about 1 month physically for every 12 months you sleep. Over an 80-year lifespan, you would spend 8 total years in stasis. This effectively extends human lifespan by nearly a decade. People in their 70s would look and feel like they are in their 50s. Career structures would be completely redefined. You cannot be fired for taking your mandatory 1-year sleep break. By law, companies must hold your job position open until you wake up. When you return, you undergo a mandatory 2-week reorientation course to catch up on company news. Schools would operate on a rotation system. Children born in the same year stay together in the same sleep cohort throughout their education. The entire grade level goes into stasis together and wakes up together, keeping their education synchronized. It proves that the unbroken continuity of our daily lives is something we take for granted. Waking up every morning knowing that yesterday's world is still there is a quiet comfort. Our short 8-hour nightly sleep lets us rest without losing touch with the people we love. So tonight, when you drift off to sleep, be glad that you will wake up in just a few hours, ready to pick up right where you left off.